Well, it's a beautiful evening in the great sun-shining state of Texas. Welcome back to the Truth Seekers Live podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling good this show. This evening, I'm feeling immaculate. I am feeling fantastical, as a matter of fact. I say fantastical in the sense of the term or the word or the usage or the context of the word as far as fantasy goes. And I do feel fantastic. However, I want to really convey a message of next level mental health. And in order for me to do that, we need to kind of focus on delusion to grandeur. So stick with me, ladies and gentlemen. We have 73 people already in the building tonight. I'm so happy that you decided to spend an evening or at least a few minutes, maybe a couple of hours with us, the Truth Seekers Live podcast. Don't think I forgot, though. Do not think, ladies and gentlemen, that for 1 second I have forgotten about our national holidays. I got an email a couple of days ago that said, THT, you haven't been doing the national holidays. I said, you're absolutely right. I have not been doing the national holidays. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have many national holidays. It's first and foremost, my favorite day, September 20th, National Pepperoni Pizza Day. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for it. National Pepperoni Pizza Day as well, National Queso Day. It's also Sukkot, a Jewish holiday known as the Feast of the Booths. If you're a punch drinker, it's a National Punch Day. National Fried Rice Day. If you like German people, it's German World Children's Day. Who doesn't love German kids, right? Great people, the Germans. Very good people, some of the best people, right? Some of the best people, really lovely people. How do you see my African-American friend over there? Hello, my African-American friend over there. Great people, great evening we have for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you like the video on your way in, ladies and gentlemen. We want to stop all of the pandemics, ladies and gentlemen. Horrible pandemic, bad people. Yes, what website is this? This is nationaltoday.com day. Nationaltoday.com day lets you know what holiday it is. 88 people in the building. And of course, it's respect for the age day. Our elders are the link to our past and they contribute to our future. So shout out to all of our elders. Shout out to all of our elders. Shout out to you once again. We almost have 100 people already in the building. They want to see. We have a lot of haters. Shout out to all my people that are on the road right now, my graveyard shift workers who are making this country, this great American country run so perfectly fine. This beautiful, wonderful country. Make our workers great again. I want to thank you so much. And I want to thank you for the contributions, for everybody that's donated to the channel. I was watching Uppity Unicorn's channel earlier, and she had a great live stream. Make sure you check out Uppity Unicorn's channel. It was absolutely amazing. I really, really, really love the live stream that she and Brown Foxy had. And it was a great follow-up conversation. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out the Uppity Unicorn channel. We'll have those links in the description box right now. As a matter of fact, they're in the description box. PayPal.me/TheHonestTruth if you would like to donate directly to the show. We're going to get this thing started on the road with some news. 100 people in the building. So good to see you all already. Before we actually get started with some news, I have a video to show you. I was out earlier today at the grocery store, and I met a young lady who was new, right? So I'm at this grocery store all the time, and this young lady was new, and she began talking to me, and she said, "Hey, what do you do?" Yada yada yada. And of course, I tell everybody I do YouTube, right? She was a black young lady, and we got to talking, and I found out that she had an incredible story to tell. So I want you to watch this video really quickly. This video is a personal account of what happened to her. Now, this doesn't have her in it. You're going to be looking at a metal countertop because I was at the deli at the time, but I want you to listen to her experience and what happened. And then we're going to get into the delusion de grandeur after we have our news articles. All right. This is very important, though. And I made sure to record what I heard and her story, because a lot of y'all think, at least a lot of the guys think I make a lot of these incidents up. And I don't make up any of these incidents. This is real life. And I experience this on a day-to-day. And so do many of you. Right. So let's check this out really quickly. More time for me, y'all. I'm at the store right now. So just check out. Y'all think I'm lying when I say the things I say on my channel. Just listen to it.
Yeah, it's no joke. I, a black woman, shot multiple times, 2, 3, 4 times by 3 black men. Not white, not Hispanic, black. Black woman involved. All of this because of something that I had.
Thank you. So if you didn't hear that, she was a black lady that I met that I was actually shot. She got set up and shot by 3 black men, right? Because of something that she had. We didn't go into details, but keep that in mind as we continue to go through our live stream today. Coming to us from Philadelphia. We have a news story coming to us from Philadelphia. Maybe if I can get my life together over here. A 6-year-old girl was struck by a van while fleeing gunfire. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, while fleeing gunfire. This is the young girl right here. Video surveillance did capture her being hit by this van. I'm not going to obviously show that. But just know that she did survive. She made it, and she's doing very well from what I hear. But the front of the minivan struck her, and she was launched 50 feet. She actually lost some of the slippers that she was wearing, right? A gunman was confirmed to have opened fire on police during this entire ordeal. The girl was initially thought to be grazed by a bullet, but police said her injuries resulted in being hit by a van. Another story from Blackistan. We hope that that young girl is doing all right and she has a speedy recovery. The United States is investigating something. This was crazy. This is kind of shocking right here, but hey, this is a news story. So the United States is investigating reports of Border Patrol using whips on immigrants. Border Patrol has been using whips on Haitian immigrants. You heard that correctly. Newsweek reports that U.S. officials said they would conduct an investigation after circulating footage appears to show Border Patrol agents using whips to drive back Haitian immigrants at the river separating Del Rio, Texas, and Ciudad Acuña, Mexico. The Associated Press reported. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and Border Patrol Chief Raul Ortiz both said that they saw nothing immediately wrong in the footage and photos of the alleged incidents between agents and Haitian immigrants. So apparently they said that they're using the whips to help keep the horses in line. But video footage does tell a very different tale and story. Our last news story, Lordy, our last news story of the night, it comes to us from the good old Jay-Z. Jay-Z is apparently suing Missouri Correctional, I think, Police Department or something like that. Team Rock, the philanthropic arm of the hip-hop mogul record label Rock Nation, is suing for access to records that, according to the lawsuit, would shed light on complaints filed against members of the KCKPD's investigative division, including documents related to the training and supervision of KCKPD officers. Because of the Kansas Police Records Act that allows interested parties to look at various states and government documents, we're allowed to see certain files and how the government handles certain issues. Spiro said the government has attempted to block our access to those files, so we're suing to see what they don't want us to see. Lawsuit is backed by Jay-Z as well as Yo Gotti, two great young men here. And also, I want to just kind of show one more picture of Jay-Z. Shout out to Jay-Z for actually standing up for what he believes in. Ladies and gentlemen, particularly out here, let Jay-Z be a perfect example that if you're on your business as a man, you can have a beautiful woman. All right. I just wanted to bring that out to you. Right. Just take a look at Jay-Z here. No shade, no hate to him, but it doesn't matter what you look like if you're a boss. All right. Make no mistake about it. Jay-Z is a boss of bosses. Now, let's go ahead and get into our message tonight. We got a heck of a message. Enough with the boring news. I got my coffee here. I'm feeling lit. I'm feeling live. 150 people already watching. I love you all. Delusion de Grandeur. Right now, often I have conversations with black males. I pass them and I make sure to say something to them in regards to the current socio-political climate. I'll just try and pick their mind, figure out where their mindset is at. Right? What are you thinking about, my brother? And during these conversations, I notice that there's a similar train of events, and it's really evident. It becomes nearly evident in all black males that I speak with. It's a world of delusion. And the conversation typically starts like this. And stick around; these videos are going to be absolutely ridiculous. I say, hello, sir. How are you doing today, my fine brother? I had to call him my brother because most of the time when I address another black male as a sir, he looks at me with a confused dog face. He's like, sir, who are you calling a sir? Right? Like I insulted him or something. Hello, sir. Hello, my fine brother. Excuse me. He isn't used to being acknowledged or referred to as a sir. So in order for the conversation to continue, I find myself needing to bring down the level of grammatical exchange and respect. I've even had black men growl at me and tell me, I ain't no sir. Go on with all that, man. I ain't no sir. Right. Maybe it's more of a country bumpkin thing. I don't know. Maybe it's not solely a black issue. I'm trying to make it out to be, right? Anywho, I steer the conversation towards the political side because I want to indulge in the mindset of the modern day black man. I want to see how he's thinking, why he's thinking, all that. After all, attitude determines one's altitude. So if the mind is junk, then the actions that follow based off of the mind's mindset, there's going to be junk as well. Many times the conversation ends with the same notion of thought that many black men have in regards to white men, and that is that the white man fears the black man. I've heard so many black men tell me this. Well, the reason why the white man really does this is because they're scared of us, because they know our power, because they know, and this and that. Countless times I've heard this. Right? Hundreds of conversations with black men, all religious beliefs, backgrounds. A lot of them believe that the reason that the white man enslaved them was because the white man was scared of the black man's power. I guess this imminent world control that black men were getting ready to crusade through the galaxy with, right? The white man was scared, so they had to put the black men in chains. I don't know. This is what we call delusion de grandeur, right? So the delusion within the black male collective, and this delusion that we're getting ready to talk about tonight isn't present in any other race of males in America, right? It's non-existent. Specifically, delusion de grandeur is a person's belief that they are something other than who they are, right? Such as a supernatural figure or celebrity, i.e. a king, right? We hear a lot of black men talking about, oh, we're kings. We was kings. That's delusion de grandeur. You weren't a king. Neither were your ancestors, more than likely, right? But delusion de grandeur is a very large part of the black pop degenerate culture, right? Not only do we praise degeneracy, but we praise these delusional ideological beliefs that aren't and don't have any merit of evidence, right? A delusion de grandeur might also believe that they have special abilities. This is what the medical news today says about this. They might have special powers or possessions. And delusions are also and generally a result of a mental disorder. This is why we're kind of following up with our mental health live stream that we did a few days ago. Medical news today goes on to say this: a delusion de grandeur is a false or unusual belief about one's greatness. A person may believe, for instance, that they are famous, they can end world wars, or that they're immortal. Those are delusions, right? Just for the future going forward, I'll say DDG, delusions de grandeur, right? DDG, also called grandiose delusions, often accompany other mental health symptoms. This is fascinating. Stick with me before we get to the videos, because you're going to trip at these videos. This is fascinating stuff here, right? Including other delusions. This might be related to mental or physical health conditions, including schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or some types of dementia. Now, in the last live stream, we talked about the mental health crisis in Blackistan, majority of the black community being in severe mental bad places, just for a lack of a better term, right? Because of the environment, because of the situation, because of the poverty, because of the violence, because of the narcissism, because of the evilness, because of the lack of infrastructure. You start to experience so many different physical and mental developmental crises, right? We spoke about how poverty, trauma, family instability, lack of economic infrastructure, and resources directly contribute to mental health and or cognitive disorders, right? There are many DDGs that often go unspoken in day-to-day life in Black America. Young Black males often take up the metaphorical torch of the neighborhood's prides and displays his dominance of said block or street or community with such brazen bravado that you would think that he lives in $1 million neighborhood. Black males who are in the hood, who are in these areas, are so proud of being from their street. They rep that number, they rep that color, they love their identity, they tied their identity to the streets so viscerally that if you didn't know, if you were a foreigner, if you're an alien that didn't know anything about Earth, you would think that the property value that most Black males come from or derive from is the highest property value in the universe. You would think that the neighborhoods that they're so proud of are these wonderful, incredible places. And it's actually the exact opposite. So there's a delusion de grandeur as far as the Black male's mindset goes for his home city. Oh, I'm repping my home city. This is why you always see such a visceral response for Black men supporting their sports teams from their city. They love their city. They love it. They tie their identity and everything about them, their essence, to that block, to that hood, to that community, even though said community might be utter shit. Right? Delusion. Right? One would be inclined to think that the majority of hoods, blocks, and housing units in the Black community were comprised of streets paved in 24 karat gold. Niggas love being from their area, right? Thank you for the $5 super sticker and the $5 super chat already. Positive vibes that I wish they would praise solutions to the problems. Don't worry, we're gonna get into that. Y'all are not gonna want to miss this. These videos, y'all are gonna trip on these videos, man. I got some videos for y'all today. Yo, these videos are insane. I was dying. And the reason I'm mentioning delusion de grandeur is because I need you to understand how white people look at Black males who speak like this. This is why we need to start really effectively forming the disconnect between men in the Black manosphere and then men who are willing and are trying to wake up and better their lives. We need to make the disconnect really, really quickly. And you'll see in a second. So just bear with me. I have to explain this all before I get to the videos, though, because if I just get to the videos, you're gonna be like, okay, cool. So don't worry, it's getting ready to get entertaining, more entertaining than we've ever seen. There's an unsaid rule in Black America that forces one to be proud of the destructive community that you hail from. You have to be so proud of your uniquely dilapidated environment that you wouldn't even think of moving to another uniquely dilapidated street or hood or environment. And just like we discussed in the mental health live stream, if you choose not to be another cog in the machine of Black America, then you must hate yourself. You must hate yourself. To which you would become an outcast of this particular block, sector, and or hood. DDG, delusion de grandeur, can often be seen in young Black males who claim that they run their hoods or that they run their particular areas. In reality, they run absolutely nothing, right? Just like the kings, you're not a king, you have no kingdom. You run absolutely nothing. There are no Black kings. However, even if they were the ones responsible for constructing the buildings in the hood, for constructing the ghettos, for constructing the projects in the hood, even if you were the ones that actually built brick by brick, wood plank by wood plank, those buildings up from the ground and installed all the electrical wiring, installed all the plumbing, even if you were the one to do that, the state of majority of the Black communities would probably lend themselves over to the notion of the fact that you didn't do the best job based off of the current outcome, right? It's not like the hood's that nice of a place, right? Medical News Today goes on to say this: people experiencing delusion de grandeur see themselves as great, highly accomplished, more important than others, or even magical. The delusions may be persistent, or it may appear only periodically. Some people with delusions de grandeur also experience trusted sources of other delusions, such as a fear of persecution or unusual beliefs, such as a fear of the white man, right? The white man's out to get me, the fear of the courts, child support out to get me, fear of the black woman are out to get us. I played the video on the last live stream where these Black brothers who are all fathers made it very clear that they feel like women were given all the power, right? This is a side effect of delusion de grandeur. You feel like somebody's out to get you. It's a developmental disorder, really, when we get down to it, right? We're talking about mental health still, but stick with me. We're getting ready to get to the videos here. Black Lives Matter, the idea that Black men are constantly under attack. And so, as a matter of fact, Black men now believe that their own women are being pawns to deplatform them from their imminent greatness. Delusions de grandeur. Oh, well, now the Black woman's being used against us. What do I mean? I'll show you a video really quickly. Welcome to everybody joining. Stick with me. We have to get through the boring parts first before we get to the crazy parts, because this needs to be explained. Delusional, right? Delusional. If you were here on the last live stream, you'll remember this. And then we'll move on to our next video.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. They gave women a lot of power
too. That's too.
Why welfare and everything gave.
All right. So just everybody's out to get them, right? Everybody's out to get them. However, delusion de grandeur is more than just a high self-esteem or inflated sense of self-importance. It marks significant disconnection from the real world. A person with delusion de grandeur may continue to believe in the delusion in spite of contradictory evidence. And that's what we see on this channel so much. No matter what I say to a lot of these guys, there's nothing that they can do. They're so caught up in this grandiose, fantastical world that they just kind of bring into their minds that they can't listen. They can't hear any contradictions. They can't hear anything that shakes their little snow globe of a world that they seek to occupy, right? DDG. Let's get to a video. I'm going to explain delusion de grandeur and how white people see Black men who are living through delusion de grandeur. This is going to be, this is a trip, man. This might trigger some people, so fair warning ahead of time. This video was actually made by a white person, but I need you to understand. Need you to understand this, right? Video is called King of Kings. King of Kings.
Melanin is a neurochemical that is produced in part through the pituitary and the pineal gland. They both play a central role in the production of melanin, which is ultimately responsible for the color that we have in our skin. Now, historically, it had always been thought that melanin played a significant role in the intellectual propensity of African people. For example, when you study some of the Greek writings on melanin or the color of Africans, many of the Greek philosophers believed that that melanin played some sort of a role in how Africans had
Y'all hear the music?
and developed some of the sciences that they had come to be known for. So melanin was always considered an intellectual sort of a chemical.
Where is their green card? Where's their green card? Huh? Huh?
The pineal gland, which produces melanin, it's shaped like a pine cone. And the origin of the word pineal literally means resembling a pine cone. Now, in ancient symbolisms, the pine cone has always been represented because people knew the importance of the pineal gland as it related to melanin and the universe.
The Pope says stand up. The Pope says stand
Melanin
up.
is a molecule.
The Pope says stand up.
And the concept of melanin is, it is black in its nature. And we find it in the cosmos, we find it in the heavens, we find it in water, we find it in land, we find it in everything that exists.
So melanin, from a physical standpoint, is that substance that accounts for what Black people refer to as soul. We move differently, we walk differently, we talk differently.
And I told you niggas I was on top. And you know why I'm on top? Because I'm a real motherfucking nigga. I don't play no games with no bitch ass nigga.
Not only is melanin a pigment, which is so obvious, but melanin as an intelligence is a communications module that essentially broadcasts as well as receives information by way of light and sound frequency signature.
Okay, so melanin is a broadcasting frequency, apparently. See, we're blacking wrong. All of us, we're blacking wrong. Melanin is a broadcasting frequency where we could essentially, I don't know, time travel at this point. I mean, God almighty, who knows what all we're missing out on, all right? We're going to go forward with a bit more delusions. And yes, we do have our very own Tariq Nasheed. He's going to bring a couple more things to light. And then we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with me.
A woman of African descent, and this is well known throughout Europe. There was another guy, King Charles. Many people say that he has an African origin as well. There were blacks in Scotland. There was one black Scottish king named Kenneth the Dub. There figurines and carvings of black Scots.
The Celtic Druids was the African priesthood that had gone into Europe. Leonardo da Vinci, Galileo, all of them studied with African people. They didn't come up with this. And when people talk about Leonardo da Vinci, the only question that I have as it relates to Leonardo da Vinci is, who was his teacher? Who taught Leonardo da Vinci brain anatomy? Who taught him about the airplane? Who taught him this? Tell me, who was his teacher? They can't tell you who the teacher is, because if they told you who the teacher is, they would have to tell you they were black.
This is why Italy has always been known to be a fashion mecca. People always talk about the quality of Italian clothes, but when we talk about Italian fashion, where did they get that fashion sense from? See, the Italians got that fashion sense from the Moors and the Africans that went in there. They brought those silk garments and all those fly clothes into Europe.
Delusion de Grandeur, ladies and gentlemen. If you were an alien and you were to just time travel and come visit Earth, and thank you so much for Precious Faith Alone, your $5 super chat. She says they can barely speak English, and now they're trying to speak melanin, right? Yeah, I mean, apparently we're all not even understanding what melanin is. Delusion de Grandeur. Black men somehow, these hotep men somehow, the black manosphere, believe it or not, a lot of them do believe in this entire hotep belief system as well, that black men, we're all kings, we came from kingdom, we came for this, we taught the entire world how to be the entire world. But fast forward to today, and 95% of the poorest countries are led by black males, right? If you were to listen and to take all of their words, directly for face value, you would think that black people have figured out how to time travel, right? You would think that black males essentially dominate and run the world, right? And so these delusions de grandeur are a very, very, very large part of the black manosphere. It's a very large part of Kevin Scammell's channel. They build these worlds around just saying anything, right? No proof, no evidence, no anything, but But if you don't believe their delusion, then you become an enemy of them. And if you try and teach them how maybe there is some, falsehood to their doctrine, then you become an enemy of the majority, or all of them in this case, right? And so what we're seeing is a very large wave of delusion that's just sweeping across the hearts and the minds of a very large portion of black males. And there's no ability, you don't have an ability to make any rhyme or reason or sense out of this. They'll just talk and just say things. A lot of the times you'll hear guys come onto my panel and they'll be like, oh, well, this is what happened and this is what happens. You all remember the guy who came up and said, well, they don't have any coding camps for young black boys. And then we Googled it and there were coding camps for young black boys. And I'm sure he went off to try and figure out something else that he could disprove us on, right? They just kind of talk and say things. I want to get back to the videos in a second because I have a couple more videos to play, but I wanted to show y'all that just to really bring to light just how delusional a lot of these guys are. Now, Tariq Nasheed is a very large black content creator. He has a pretty substantial following. He has a pretty substantial cult-like following, right? And moreover, I want you to understand and really get an idea of the leaders that black males on YouTube tend to put in leadership positions. The Dr. Umar Johnson, who was a part of that video. Kevin Scamulls, who isn't a part of that video, but he's just as delusional as everybody else. Tariq Nasheed, all these guys, more often than not, if they're a black male in a leadership position, tend to be far more on the delusional side than they are the actual realistic, down to earth, like you have some damn sense side, right? There's a big issue with who black men choose to make the leaders, and that's not being addressed either. But obviously, we're going to talk about that some other time. Another $5 super chat. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't another one. So forgive me. All right, forgive me, Brother Polite. Yeah, Brother Polite apparently has 4 new charges. I think he's facing in jail right now. Dude, he's gone. He's gone. I want to thank you, Organic Black, for always putting the links up there. Make sure y'all visit the sponsors links, ladies and gentlemen, if you can. I appreciate that. One more really clear video, and this is going to be more entertaining here before we get to some more delusion and my other points I have to make. I thought that this was pretty funny, so I thought this was pretty funny. In regards to
all day and talk about how dark those mummies be and shit, yo, and go over famous pharaohs like charcoal hotep, but I think I've got better evidence, more persuasive evidence for you.
All right, we got a couple more delusions here, and then we're gonna move on. This is just for pure entertainment, ladies and gentlemen, so don't get upset at me. This is for pure entertainment. I don't take this part too seriously, but this is pretty funny. The name of this video is We Was Kings. All right.
That we wasn't even there, baby, let me make it clear. We were the ones. If you pay attention to what I'm about to show, there's no doubt that you will know we were the ones. And I'ma show you that Fatari said she was black because that's the way that my name will show you. Egypt was a black man, King Tut was a black man.
How can you deny that?
How can you deny it, ladies and gentlemen? How can you deny it? Kings. The Kang delusion. The Kang delusion is one of the most prominent delusions of delusion de grandeur within the black community, within the black male mindset. As a matter of fact, the delusion is so well known that other races routinely mock black men for their frequent banter of historical greatness, right? It's often alluded to, right? The reason that the entire world exists and operates, the reason why white men, why Asian men, why everybody has technology today is because of black men, right? Delusion. In essence, there's a growing number of black men who truly believe that they're descendants of kings and or world leaders, and that due to the white man dethroning them, the entire record of their knowledge was thrown away. It is only until now the kings are finally bringing truth back to light by sharing their infinite wisdom to the masses. All right. So we're going to go to some guys who are trying to teach us about their heritage. I want you to pay attention. Maybe you and I can learn a thing or two. Who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong. I got it all messed up. I don't know. Maybe I'm just completely wrong. Let's listen to what they have to say. These young brothers here. All right. Maybe I just got it all wrong. Who knows? I'm not the smartest guy. All right. Here we go.
Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, 3 Ninja Turtles. They were hired to paint over these images. When I went to Rome and the Vatican, and I saw the 16th chapel, he was hired to paint biblical characters, Caucasian men. Why? So that when a lot of people begin to read the history of the Israelites and Jews, they would think that they were Caucasian. Listen to what the Greeks did. Because iconoclasm, breaking images, That's nothing new. The Greeks took the records of the Israelites and they painted over them as white men.
Those goddamn Europeans.
All right. So they painted over them as white men. We have to get to one more part here. This next part's pretty funny. Here we go.
Of England and Britain were black. That's King George of England. The light-skinned black man.
You clearly see the Vikings as black men.
Do you see that with your glasses? These are black men. Jesus is a black man. They know that in his hometown.
Beethoven.
Black.
Mozart.
Black.
Henry VIII.
Black.
William Shakespeare.
Undoubtedly black.
My God.
All right. Everybody's black, right? Everybody's black. An estimated 10% of the general population has some level of delusion de grandeur. Several mental health conditions make these delusions much more likely, right? Conditions that we spoke about in our last live stream, right? Number one is schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a mental health condition characterized by delusions, hallucinations, and a difficulty distinguishing reality from fantasy. Around 50% of a trusted source people with schizophrenia experience grandiose delusion, right? The next one is delusional disorder. It's kind of similar to schizophrenia. Delusional disorder can cause delusions de grandeur. People with delusional disorder, however, do not experience schizophrenia symptoms such as hallucinations. Bipolar is one of them, but one I want to focus on right now is narcissistic personality disorder. In most mental health conditions, people with the same condition can have very different personalities. Personality disorder directly affect the personality, fundamentally changing how a person relates to others and themselves. This is fascinating. People with narcissistic personality disorder have greatly inflated sense of their own importance. They seek validation and flattery, believe themselves to be special and unique, and lack empathy. A person with narcissistic personality disorder might have a sense of entitlement that leads them to act in a way that other people might find objectionable in order to obtain admiration and special privileges. Narcissistic personality disorder. This would explain why black males have this obsession with needing to be submitted to, why they feverishly seek for submission from women. This is a form of narcissism, believing that because they pay half of the bills, they now deserve your soul. And I want to go back to this definition here once again, and we are talking about men like Kevin Samuels, right? But the definition, once again, of narcissistic personality disorder is people who have a greatly inflated sense of their own self-importance. They seek validation, submission, flattery, and they believe themselves to be special and unique, right? And also lack empathy. So I wanted to make this video because I wanted to keep this in the lines of mental health, right? I wanted to keep this in the lines of mental health and just bring another form or another aspect of mental health over to the topic of discussion, because this is what we're experiencing, right? These guys who come on here and they just kind of say these crazy things. These guys who come onto the panel and they just get to talk and there's nothing to back anything up. And it sounds like they're kind of already going haywire and whatever it might be. This is what they're experiencing. They're experiencing delusion de grandeur. But more importantly, what it is an actual mental problem. And once again, this can be schizophrenia. It can be narcissistic personality disorder. It said it can be a couple other disorders, whatever it might be, delusional disorder, right? This is the actual mental health condition. But it can be traced back to the origins of growing up in such an impoverished, hellish environment like the hood, right? Now, this doesn't affect everybody, but why we see this in so many more black males is because of the environment. So I always say this, and I'm going to continue to say this. The reason why black males are so afflicted and why they go through so much hell is by none other or nobody else's hands but themselves. There will continue to be generations of black children, black males, black boys who will grow into a lifestyle of delusion de grandeur because the environment they grew up in does not allow them any access, resources, any mental health clinics, any environments of protection, sustainability. They don't have the ability to go to school and actually function cognitively as a normal person because they're too focused on getting the free lunch and then the free dinner and the after school program, right? So when you go through a life and when you're raised in an environment where you can't function normally as a human being and as a child, you start to mentally become, I'm going to say this very YouTube appropriately, you start to lack in certain mental areas that can become very apparent as you grow to later stages of your life. So right now, what we're dealing with is an influx of men and males who grew up in terrible conditions. And in order for them to have some sort of rationale for the reality, they make this grandiose, fantastical world that they live in, a delusion of grandeur type world, where what they say and what they think is essentially a warped reality. But because of their background, because of the hell that they went through, that's what makes sense to them. So I speak very tough and I speak very harshly on these men, because these are the same men that are now getting together to form coalitions of millions of others to validate their beliefs. And so I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I gotta be careful. I can't say everything on my Ryan, right? I can't say everything on mine. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll stick to the modern day hotep right here. Nick Cannon. I want to show a video of Nick Cannon. That's right. Nick Cannon with 8 baby mothers. Another black male who's been risen to prominence, right? Oh, Nick Cannon, he woke. Got 25 baby mamas. Of course, Nick Cannon's woke though, right? There's an issue. Something's wrong with the men that black men place in leadership positions. Something's off. Something's off. Of course, the brother he's talking to is wearing the garments, right? He's wearing the hotep robes. You got to wear maybe that's an African thing here, so I need to be careful. I don't want to insult any African. Sorry, y'all, if I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's listen to what Nick Cannon had to say here.
But today, when we talk about defending ourselves against law enforcement, it's such a crazy concept that if they see a black man with something that looks like a gun, a cell phone, some Skittles,
a little knife like Laquan McDonald,
they say if it looks like a gun, they're going to shoot
empty
first.
They clip, man. I'm gonna do Diallo. I got a wallet.
Right.
That's all right. We're gonna murder you in your doorway. And we just gonna keep pulling until we empty our clip.
And the fact that we've gotten to this point that there's so much fear. And I made this statement before, it's like they shoot at what they fear. They have so much fear for the black man and his power.
Isn't that something? All that dominance they want to exert, and yet the thing that gets them off in court is the fight.
Let me ask you something. This is another version of Delusion. Some of you might be fans of Nick Cannon. Some of you might think that what he said was just the most wise thing ever to be uttered in conversation in the history of mankind. He claims that because police fear black men, that's why they shoot them. No, listen, let me tell you something. Newsflash. Police, even though they don't kill black men really that often at all, if I'm being completely honest, but let's just say that they did. Let's just say this is world. The black men are getting killed left and right by police officers. Black boys are being shot left and right. If this actually was the case, in what world does it make sense that they do that because they're scared, right? If you were scared of black males, in my mind, you wouldn't want to shoot them, because that would obviously lead to repercussions. That would lead to consequences. That would lead to issues, right? That would lead to what we call smoke in the black community, in the black populace, right? If you were really scared of somebody, you wouldn't want that smoke. No, the reason why cops and they try to, once again, form this delusion, the grandeur in their mind. Well, they shoot us because they're scared of us. No, they shoot you because they're not scared of you. Don't get it fucked up. They're not scared of you, bro. All right? Black men have this sense of, oh, we're so powerful. Everybody fears us. We're so powerful. That's why they hold us back. That's why they do this. No, they conquer you. They kill you. They would kill you. Because they wouldn't be scared of the consequences, because they know they have nothing to worry about. All right. They know they can keep their foot on your necks because you can't unite in solidarity to actually form a smoke show against them. I have to be careful with what I say here, right? That's the reality. But in a black man's mind, they'll try and, oh, we're so powerful. You be lying, because really the reason why they be doing it, because the white man knows that after we form together, we gonna take over the world, true. And he knows that. No, he knows you won't do that. That's why he's not worried about you. No other race of people is worried, but black men seem to think that they're on the edge of this miraculous discovery. That they're getting ready to just shoot to the moon. like they're getting ready to colonize Mars or something. And listen, I'm not trying to destroy and crap on black men, especially the black men that are actually well-to-do. I talk with some great black men at Uppity Unicorns live stream. Awesome black dudes, man. I mean, dudes, bosses, real bosses. I tip my hat to the solid black men. But niggas, y'all need to wake up, man. You're not running anything and nobody's scared of you. Okay? Sorry. Not sorry. Man, Nick Cannon, what Nick Cannon said was right. That's right. White man scared of the black man. White man's always been scared of the black man. Okay. If I'm scared of something, I'm not going to antagonize it. Right? That wouldn't make much sense. What do I know? Right? What do I know? Thank you, Nick Cannon, for your wise words there. I'm sure Nick Cannon is probably going to have a few more children. So blessing to him and his family and his children, his millions of kids. We've been talking about mental health, right? So we're talking about delusion, right? Now, I want you to hear something. The next video I'm going to play to you is a video from more than 50 years ago. But the same conversations that we were having 50 years ago, niggas are still having today. This mindset that somehow they figured out in the last 50 years what we need to say in more conversations rather than focusing on the solution. You're going to hear and you're going to see in this video that the same conversations niggas are having today, they've been having 50 years ago. How much longer are Negroids going to sit around and talk? Probably for the rest of mankind's history, right? This is why the black community will continue to stay where it's at, because in their minds, they feel that talking is about the problems is a solution. They've somehow formed this grandiose delusion in their mind that if I talk about the problem long enough, it'll just take care of itself. Let's continue to talk about the issues. Let's continue to talk about this instead of talking about the solutions, right? So let's watch this video. This was particularly fascinating, and I want to also, I hate to throw shots at the guy that is in this video because he was a Black Panther, and I think he went to jail for taking out a police officer. So I'm not, that's an illegal act. Susan at YouTube, I do not advocate for any type of gun violence. Don't shoot police officers, right? I'm not saying that, but I do want to bring that to your attention that I have a pretty good idea who he is, but I want you to hear what they have to say, right? I want you to hear what they have to say. And after you hear what they have to say, I'll explain why I'm playing this for you. I'll explain why. It's fascinating, though. It's fascinating. Let me see. I didn't have any of my videos pulled up. I should have already had them pulled up, but it takes up too much space. All right. So I don't know when exactly this show took place, right? But it says 1988. Maybe it wasn't 50 years ago. Jesus. I can't do math. Close enough.
What Huey Newton says right now. Jimmy the Greek also said if blacks are given the opportunity in management in other areas, they will probably be superior there too. And so I can't see where anyone would find fault with him other than the majority group who are afraid of blacks because of our superiority.
Afraid of blacks because of superiority. This conversation has been going on for decades now at this point, right? Afraid of blacks. Now, in reality, we know that more than likely, even if you were to just give over reparations, even if you were to give over power to some extent, more than likely, most black males, a lot of black males wouldn't know what to do immediately with that power, with that infrastructure, or with those reparations. It just wouldn't be firmly and well-planted seeds in the soil. It'd probably end up going to the famine versus the feast, right? But I'm going to play one more clip. And then after this, I'll explain why I'm playing this, all right? One more clip. Bear with me. So a white woman is, well, it's two white people that they're being interviewed by, but hear what she has to say here.
And I don't know what his intentions were even.
So how do we reprogram that so we don't think that blacks are inferior?
Well, you just have to stop being racist by first encountering.
You hear what she said? She said, how do we reprogram? So essentially what she's saying is, what's the solution then? What's the solution? Right now, he never really gets around to asking that question, but that's what she's asking him. What do you pose that we do then? Right? What's your idea? We'll see what he has to say. I didn't listen to it all the way through, but let's see what he has to say here.
Your racism and seeing first that you should be a little afraid of a people that you've attempted to commit genocide against. Not only then, but now.
Juwanza, is it the fault of the media?
Well, there's no question that there's a direct relationship between images and self-esteem. I mean, it goes all the way back to Tarzan, to Superman, to Rambo, to Batman.
All right. Well, I'm sure it'll be an indirect kind of runaround answer there. So what's the solution, right? Why am I bringing you these video clips here? What's the solution? These conversations were being had in 1988, as well as 1918, I'm sure, 1928, every single decade after. And yet we're still in the same exact place right now. Right? Another delusion. The reality is I could sit here and say 1,000,000 times over that no matter what, there won't be any reparations. I could sit here and say 1,000,000 times over that no matter what, if you think that white people don't like you, then there won't be much to change, right? Even though it's not necessarily the case. But if you feel that that's the case, it's not going to necessarily change. White people aren't going to go out of their way to make it known that they love and respect you as a black man, right? That's not going to change anything. But still, the conversation that I hear most black males come onto my panel with is that, well, we need equal, we need them to, we need jobs, we need reparations, we need this, we need that. But this is another delusion, right? That somehow in their minds, they truly feel that if they just had the chance, if they were just given the opportunity to be a leader, right? Something that they always say with black women, well, black women don't let us lead. If we were just given the opportunity to lead, then all would be well in the world, right? All would be well. When in reality, it goes back to what that white woman said. She said, well, what's the solution? What are you going to do about it? So when I ask black men what the solution to their problems is, there is no solution given. The only thing that's given as a solution is the problem redirected or reworded in another format. They say, oh, well, I say, well, okay, what's the solution to child support? They said, well, it's the courts. It's the courts. We gotta, you know, the courts. I don't know. The courts are bad. The baby mamas are bad, right? So what's the solution? What do you pose that you're gonna do about the courts, right? Now the solution would be, well, go to school, start raising the next generation to become lawyers or drafters or mayors, city officials into these positions to where they can start to change the laws, right? That's the solution, right? But there's not a grasp on the solution. Rather, it's just a repeated problem, just in another way, right? But in their minds, they think that if they keep talking about the problem, that somehow it's going to just magically change. It's going to magically alter, right? So the similarities that we see in conversations in 1988 and 2021 are very similar. This is why Kevin Samuels has been able to amass a following to the level that he has. Essentially, what he does is he simply talks about the problem. And this is what black men love. Black men love to talk about the problem. Black men love to talk about the problem, right? They love it. It's kind of like gossip or girl talk for them. They love talking about the problem. And this is in pop culture as well, right? Music talks about the struggle. We glorify the struggle, right? And some people glorify making it out of the struggle, but we love to hear a great struggle story of a young artist or a young athlete that made it from the hood, that made it from the gutter, that made it from what. It feeds a lot of the black population. It feeds a lot of black males. There isn't nearly as much emphasis that's placed on the solution of the struggle. Right? We popularize the problem, but not the solution. And this is why Kevin is so popular amongst them. This is why I'm never going to be popular really that much amongst black males, because what I tell and what I give black males is the solution to their problems. But if you give a black male solution, then you're outed as a hater or a coon, or you're outed as an Uncle Tom, or you're outed as a panderer, right? Because most black males do not want the solution. It doesn't fit their delusion de grandeur. Right. And I think I heard Uppity talking about this early on her live stream, but a lot of it plays into the fact that men like Kevin Samuels and all these black manosphere content creators, they don't want to give the solution because they know that they gave the solution beforehand in Kevin's time and nothing really happened. He didn't grow. He didn't become popular. Right. That's not what they actually sought to do. But B, once you actually do heal the ailment, then there's nothing else to treat anymore. Right. There's no other way to make money off of this ailment, right? And I'm not trying to throw shade at the medical, whatever it might be. Don't talk about medical issues on YouTube, by the way, if you're a content creator, y'all. That'll F you up. So no medical shade. Make sure you follow your doctor's advice for everything. Susan at YouTube, I love you, right? But it's kind of that same train of thought. And I think that was a great point that Uppity and Brown Foxy brought up. When you heal, when you actually find the solution to the problem, there's no more problem. So the question then becomes, do they really want a solution to begin with? That's what the question ultimately becomes. Do you really want a solution to begin with? And honestly, at this point, I'm seeing that with most black males, the answer is no. They don't want a solution to begin with. I sat on panel upon panel upon panel upon panel and have given hours, countless hours, probably hundreds of hours, maybe not hundreds, I'd say tens of hours, talking to black men and trying to actually help them legitimately with their problem. Only to be cursed out, threatened, whatever it might be. And I didn't go into the panel just talking recklessly. I didn't do that. I came on very clear, concise, very respectful. Right? We got this brother, the honest truth, and I seen some of your work and everything, man. I don't agree with what you got to say. Okay, well, what do you disagree with, my brother? What do you disagree with? I don't believe that what you're saying ultimately about the black man is really logical or really has any truth to it, because here's the reason why. And then they'll go on to give like a struggle story, right? 1974, I had a turtle, and the turtle was stolen by a little white boy named Tommy, and then Tommy never got in trouble for it. So ever since then, I knew that white people were evil, right? They'll give me some kind of random struggle story. I'm like, okay, cool. All right. Okay. So what's the problem again? Well, the system knew that Tommy was protected under the, okay, so the system is the problem. Okay, cool. So how do you change the system? You can't change the system. Okay, so is it that, okay, so you give up then? That's what you're telling me? Give up? No, I'm not saying to give up. I'm saying that what we talk about on this channel, I said, okay, cool. So you just want to talk about the problem. No, I don't want to talk about the problem. Okay, so what's the solution then? Well, you tell me what the solution is then, brother. What's the solution then? I'll say, well, the solution is to go to school, and it's to start to integrate yourself into the system that you claim is oppressing you. That's what the solution is, right? And I'll be met with all kinds of backlash. Once again, you would have thought that I slapped their mother on live or something, right? Countless times, many a conversation. I don't even go on panels anymore, right? I decided to just start making my own videos, and I'll have them come onto the panel. You've heard me talking with guys on these types of issues and topics, right? Moreover, you've heard me and you've seen and you've experienced for yourself when guys come onto my panel and they say, man, Truth, I agree with what you say. I agree with what you say, Truth. I do. But, right, the infinite but, right? This is also combating against the delusion de grandeur, because ultimately, even if they are able to connect with some semblance of truth, the delusion is so strong within them that they just can't let it go as of yet. They're just not ready yet, right? So even when the solution is actually made as a viable option to them, they stick so strong to the delusion that they have to hold it with every ounce of their being, with every ounce of their fiber. It's, man, you know, that makes sense, but truth, my nigga. You know, I might have to think on that, my nigga, because you saying true, but the way that my life is set up, I ain't really there yet, right? I ain't really there yet. Delusion de grandeur is probably the strongest mindset that holds a lot of black males back. In my opinion, it's the strongest mindset because it encompasses so many different things. Narcissism, borderline personality disorder. It affects you in so many ways because it takes your reality and warps it into this demented three-dimensional existence that becomes your norm. And once you start to become a person that operates in that norm, there's nothing that anybody can do or say to really change or to infiltrate your mindset, because you've cemented yourself into a layer that is so rigid that there's no jackhammer, there's no pressure washer, there's nothing that can uproot you from that firm soil. You're cemented. You're pretty much done. You're in there. You're in the ground, right? That's the biggest issue with black males, this grandiose delusion de grandeur, right? We see this on another aspect of black males who actually do go on to become college educated, who do go on to become high earners or whatever it might be. All of a sudden, their delusion of de grandeur is blown to new proportions, right? All of a sudden, they're the next hottest thing. They're the best thing walking. Man, I made it out the struggle. I'm not a statistic. I didn't go to jail. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And so all of a sudden now they're just walking around with a head that's, they're walking around with a hot air balloon sized head, right? Their delusion is taken to new stratospheres, right? So it affects both sides or many different aspects of black men in socio-capitalistic America. in socio-political America. This is a problem that all types of Black men experience. But once again, this can all be traced back to the upbringing, back to the stunting of mental development as a child. It can be traced back to the lack of family structure as a child, the lack of safety and mental development as a child. It can be traced back to the lack of infrastructure and economic sustainability as a child. It can be traced back to this, and yet at the end of the day, still, when I try and hold Black men accountable for not being and for being the only race of men in capitalistic America that don't go back to build up their projects, their own hoods, their own ghettos, for being the only race of men that seek to marry out at much higher rates of every other race of man once they actually get high earning jobs, once they actually become collegiately educated, even though they get divorced more than everybody once they start marrying interracially. Once I point that fact out, however, the actual solution that can start to change the trajectory of those Black children that are going to be born into delusion and grandeur mindsets, I lose them. It's very interesting. JJ with the $10 super chat says, I think Black men are too focused now. They don't realize our growth will take generations. The I want it now mentality, or they do realize that and don't care. I think you're very right about that. And this is going to take generations. But the generation and the growth has to start at some point or another. But what we're starting to see right now is an influx of men that are raising up against that starting or becoming that first generation to eventually over 3 or 4 generational dynasties start to influx that change. That's what we don't have. And I talk about this all the time. How is it that in the 20s, we had more of a tight-knit community than when we actually have more economic availability, more economic resources, more economic opportunities afforded to us? How is it that our community has only further strayed from solidarity compared to then? How is that? We're regressing as a community. Moreover, there's starting to become a normalization of Black males regressing as far as their traditional, because they love that word so much, traditional roles inside the community. Black males, by and large, make up the largest amount of counterproductive males within their communities, but now they're trying to actually normalize counterproductivity. This is like, this is incredible. This is incredible to see. Thank you for the super chat. Right? This is incredible to see. True, you're just pandering. It becomes pandering when you talk about giving back to the community, when you talk about supporting Black-owned businesses, when you talk about supporting your women, when you talk about supporting essentially what you have called the most important person in the raising of a child. I've asked a lot of Black men. So, okay, so who do you think is more important, the man, the mother, or the father? Well, true, it's because the mother has the child. The mother is the one that's got to raise the kid up in a system of white supremacy. So if the mother is more important, then why are you not focusing on building more economic infrastructure for single mothers? Why? If the mother's more important, wouldn't that make sense? No, because what I see is that the women's be making decisions that, and this is why the Black community will always stay dead last, because the leaders contradict any and every point or any and every corner on the street that they claim they're paving to success. This is why they'll always be dead last. They say one thing, but completely don't believe it, right? We talked about one of the traits of narcissistic personality disorder. And I'm going to read that trait once again. But at the end of it, it says that they seek validation and flattery, believe themselves to be special and unique, and lack empathy. Black males think that they're the most desired. I made the video speaking about nobody wants Black males. Literally every single race of women. I have videos from Asian women, videos from white women, videos from Latina women saying in their culture that Black males are the least desired and that their parents, every single video, and these videos have, I think, a combined like 20 or 25,000 or 30,000 views. So shout out to y'all watching it. But in every single video, there's acknowledgement from multiple races, from multiple groups, from multiple women in each and every video, from multiple articles on Reddit. And we understand this to be the case, that Black men are the least desired, and for good reason. I'm a Black man myself. Hey, it's the truth, right? But once again, the delusion True, you always be hating on black men. True, you just be talking about the lies. True, when we go to Brazil, the women's in Brazil be understanding how we need the feminine submission to us. True, delusion, utter chaotical delusion, right? The lacking empathy, just like we said here. You're claiming that single mothers are the most important, yet you don't want to do anything to help single mothers. You don't have any empathy. You have no care. This is why the black community is utter shit, because the men, the leaders, the people don't even care about the community. This is why it all looks like shit in the hood. This is why all the houses look like shit. This is why all the houses look like crap. This is why the lawns look crazy. This is why you saw in the last video kids that are just living in boarded up houses, because the niggas don't care. So you got all these pro hotep, pro everything, pro black. Oh, truth, you're anti-black, you're anti this, you're anti that, but won't do a single thing for their own community. Will call me a anti-black while they're living in their mother's house, who is essentially going to work to sustain their hatred on women. Not contributing to anything. Not trying to help her out at all. Waking up, walking outside to hell, to Blackistan, thinking that this is just the hood, this is just the area, and then actually being proud of that area. Incredible. Incredible. Niggas don't care, man. Niggas do not care. Read some of y'all's comments for a second. I know I missed a lot of comments. So read some of these comments really quickly. Say does struggle if they've been playing the blame game since forever. Absolutely. The way my life is set up. What happened with you? In my experience, true. I feel you. I feel you, my brother. Okay. Be sure says one interesting thing about this channel chat is it's revealing that evidently there are lots of black women who are tired, I guess, of hearing about the social difficulties. I guess we're tired of the complaints. Complaints don't solve anything, right? Tired of the complaints. I think that's what they're kind of tired of, right? I want to give a huge shout out to all of our audio listeners right now. I'm just reading through the comments, so you're not missing anything. Not missing anything. Truly yours says, nope, they make fun of single mothers. Right. In one breath, the single mothers are the most important. In the other breath, demonize single mothers. Okay. That makes sense. Hey, Alexander, good to see you in here, man. Preach, brother, preach, he says. Definitely, man. I appreciate that. Princess Pie says, the math not adding up. I can't click the link. There you go. Math not adding up. Absolutely not. The math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. Nakia says Cynthia G proves that too. Getting Black says they refuse to listen though. They continue to swear they're the most desired worldwide. Right. Delusion de Grandeur. Uppity Unicorn says, oh my gosh, this breakdown is serious. I appreciate you, Uppity. And shout out to all the channel members. If you're a channel member, then you've seen part 2 of the How I Became Homeless. If you want to become channel member and watch part 1 and part 2, and hopefully part 3 here in the next, I'd say probably a day or so, I'm going to upload it. Probably 2 days, I'll have part 3 for our channel members. You can click the super chat button, the $, and click join. For $3.99, you can get access to paywalled content, and it's pretty entertaining if I say so myself. Interesting stories. So $3.99, join the channel. You get the awesome reticle beside your name as well. And I think I saw a rainbow reticle beside my own name. I saw a rainbow reticle, which means that I think Self Love Heals has been a member for a certain amount of time. I think it's 3 months or 4 months when you get the rainbow reticle. So I don't see anybody else in the chat that has it. I see some red. Up in the Unicorn got a red. Laura Gale's got an orange. Kira's got a purple. Commendable K's got a purple. Check that out. Check that out. I appreciate the Faith Factor for sharing the video. Thank you, Faith Factor, for sharing the video. Thank you, my dear. I duly appreciate that. Y'all make sure you check out the Faith Factor's channel. I haven't watched the Faith Factor yet, but I'm subscribing to you right now, Faith Factor. and I'm going to join in just 1 second. So thank you to Faith Factor for sharing the video. 305 people watching tonight. We're going to open up the panel here in a little bit. I want to hear about your stories of delusion. Maybe you've been dating a man. Maybe you're in a relationship right now. Maybe you're experiencing delusion by the hands of a black male. I want to hear your stories. It's time that we open up the panel. And thank you, Organic Black. There's the link. Click that link if you'd like to join for exclusive channel memberships. I'm trying to push my memberships and get my membership levels up right here. Let me know if you have any stories of delusion to grandeur. I want to know. Click this link. It's going to be perma-pasted. Kiera says she's liking the membership content. Thank you, Kiera. I appreciate that. Commendable cases. The Faith Factor is great. Diana Prince says all single mothers are bad except for theirs. Pfft, Jesus. How interesting is that, right? Fascinating. We say this all the time, right? They speak about mothers as if they don't have a mother. They speak about women as if they don't have a sister. Mind-numbing logic. I pinned that link. I look forward to some of your stories. 310 people watching. Make sure that you like the video. Organic Black says, yes, faith is awesome. Smart Cookie says they're so delusional they hate their own mothers. By their logic, absolutely. Absolutely. Vibes Jayla says, it's so funny how they talk about single mothers, but every black man in my inbox has no kids, and I'm a single mother of 2. Huh. Very, very interesting. So good to see y'all on the panel. I'm going to add y'all in just 1 second. Lemonade just became a member. Thank you so much, Lemonade, for your new channel membership. Enjoy the members-only videos. If you can't find the members-only videos, by the way, go to my community tab. I don't know if it pops up when you click videos. And think about that. So go to the community tab, Lemonade, or whoever else becomes a member, and you'll see under the community tab the links to the members-only videos, right? They'll be posted. So check those out. And enjoy, Lemonade. Welcome to the membership. Welcome to the membership. Jedi Mike is in the building, as well as Loren and Lin. It's so good to have everyone in the building. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. We're going to keep it short and sweet like we always do, just so we can keep space and keep the conversation going. But I do appreciate everybody that joins. And we're going to go ahead and start with the ladies first. We're going to start with Lin. Then we'll go with Loren. And then we will go with Jedi Mike as well. Lin, the floor is yours. Do you have any stories of grandeur, delusional grandeur, or what did you want to add particularly to the conversation as well?
Oh, actually, can I go second? Because I was actually trying to pull up some stuff that are pretty delusional.
Sure,
If I can go after.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Loren, go ahead, my dear. Loren, it's good to see you again. Congratulations, by the way, on everything.
No, thank you. Good to see you again, too. And this is an excellent stream tonight. As always, you always have really amazing topics, and you really researched and went in on this one because the breakdown uppity is right on point. The breakdown is like excellent. And I just want to add to the conversation that I think that this one of Black men's biggest delusions is this idea that America is scared of them, that America is afraid. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Everyone fears nobody fears Black men.
Right.
Why would they do something like that again and again and again if they were scared of you? Scared of what? Black men don't do anything. There's no consequences. There's no repercussions. Black men do not know how to come together for anything other than negativity and chaos. So nobody's scared of you. And I don't know if you remember that story that happened a little while ago. This Asian guy shot this boy in the arm. He shot his neighbor's son in the arm for playing on his lawn. You know? Do you remember that? The boy was like 4.
I heard that. I can't remember, but I remember vaguely something about that.
Yeah, it was dead wrong. It was dead wrong. There was no, that was not justified at all. But I mean, he only did that because he didn't fear any consequences. Like, go do that to Brad's son. Watch what happens.
Right.
Go do that to anybody's son and watch what happens. Nobody fears Black men. And the sooner they can get that through their heads, that nobody is scared of you, you don't incite fear in anybody. Y'all terrorize women and children all day. Y'all love to do that because that's the only people that you think can ever become scared of you is women and children. Y'all need to pick up somebody your own size.
Yeah, I agree, Lauren. I appreciate that. And I think it's a good point. You know, we have to start addressing the delusions. Nobody is scared of Black men. Hate to break it to you, black guys. Nobody's scared of you. I want to thank everybody on the panel for joining. We have a couple of new members, and so I'm going to let some of the new members go before we let our veterans go. But I do see you all, and we'll make sure to get to everybody. I want to thank you for listening and tuning in on this wonderful, hot in Texas Monday night as we start to delve into the late hours. If you're able to, then I appreciate you staying. If you have to go, then don't feel guilty. We'll be back in a couple of days. Catch us on the replay. But I just want to thank you for joining me tonight and donating your time to the channel. We're going to go ahead and go on to, well, she just hopped down. Forgive me. She just hopped down, so I guess she's gone. We'll wait for her to come back. I wanted to hear what she had to say, so wait for her to come back. We're going to go with Jayla. Jayla, the floor is yours. We'll try and keep it quick. After Jayla, we're going to go with the classic Yaya. After classic Yaya, we're going to go to Lin. Then we'll go to Jedi. All right. So, Jayla, if you can unmute yourself, and we'll try and keep it below 45 seconds. The floor is yours.
Something that I notice with Black men that's super delusional is their preferences. They'll basically try to hold Black women to all these different standards. You have to be thin. You can't have a body count over a certain amount. But when it comes to these white women or any other women of outside of our race, those expectations, those standards, they go down. Perfect example, Sierra and Kim Kardashian.
Right. But Jayla, let me stop you there. These guys, and listen, you just touched on something. These guys will have all these standards, right? Now, y'all saw the Tinder video we did, right? They'll have all these standards. They'll sit online and, I don't want, you can't have kids, you can't have more than 10 bodies, you can't be above 5'6", you can't be above 120 pounds, you can't be this, you can't be that. But will be the same ones in the DM of my friend Janelle, who doesn't meet any of their requirements, right? They act like the standards they actually have the ability to find that type of woman, when 98% of them don't. This is a fact. This is why they're in the manosphere to begin with. They have these standards that they just say just to sound cool, right? But they price themselves out of the same market that they try to price women out of. Oh, you can't be this, you can't be that, you can't be this, you can't be that. Essentially, they make up these Instagram model type archetypes of women, but they don't have the ability to get Instagram models. They don't make enough money. They don't have the necessary lifestyle. They don't have the necessary swagger. They don't have the necessary looks. The type of women that they claim to want, they can't even get. So they end up getting women that they can get, or they end up getting the same women that they insult online. And this is a fact. This is truth. I'm not gonna say that. I gotta be careful, but you're very right about that. And Jayla, I think that's a great point. I want to thank Organic Black for the $50 Cash App donation. Organic Black with a $50 Cash App donation. Thank you, Organic Black. I can't thank you enough for that. $50 Cash App donation, as well as Wan for the $10 Cash App donation. She says it's hard to hold hope for most Black men. Wan with the $10 Cash App donation. Thank you for everybody that's donated and contributed to support the channel. I'll plug my links. I don't mind. I'm gonna plug my own links. Y'all get mad at me. I don't care. Donate on PayPal. There's links. You don't have to donate. I love everybody that has donated. Y'all have given so much, and there's really nothing else I do need right now. So if you want to donate, I thoroughly appreciate it. Some of it goes back to reinvest to the channel. Some of it doesn't. I'll be honest. All right. I'll be honest here. But I want to thank y'all for donating. I do. It means the world. It means the world, man. Right. Delusion and grandeur of their choices. I need a woman that can. No, nigga, you just need a woman. You just need a girl. You'll take anything that you can get. Stop lying to yourself. We're going to go to the classic Yaya. The classic Yaya. The floor is yours, my dear.
Hello. Hi. I would like to say it is so refreshing that I found you. I think it's only been like a week. So I'm definitely very happy with not feeling crazy, because at some point I was feeling crazy.
Absolutely.
But I'll just give you the most recent one. My mom recently passed away. It's going to be about 3 months now. And the delusion that I had to deal with my brothers was deafening to me. But one of my brothers is in prison, and I worked really hard for him to come to a wake so that he could say his goodbyes and everything. And I went and got his kids and everything. And he proceeded to complain about his baby mama to his kids. the entire time of the week and drag her name through the mud. And he called me this week and was saying how his kids don't want to talk to him now. And I'm just like, well, you put your foot in your mouth. Multiple times my sister tried to tell him to stop doing that.
And we're gonna try and wrap it up. Yeah. We're gonna try and wrap it up.
So I was just bringing that up. Like even when she was doing her best for him, he still had nothing but complaints for her, and it ruined his relationship with his kids. But then even that he blamed on her as well.
You know, it's funny you said it. Yeah. So well said. And listen, yeah, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you found us here on the channel. Really, everybody here is just are amazing people. And so I'll go ahead and show everybody's panel so we can kind of see who's speaking right now. Once again, I know I mentioned Uppity Unicorn's a live stream. Organic Black says, meanwhile, he's the one in jail. This is crazy. And listen to this. Uppity Unicorn, and I'm taking her words, but she said this: when a woman supports a man, I think actually her panel member, Brown Foxy, said this. She said, when a woman supports a man, it ends up making him resentful of her, right? Because it takes away his manhood. It effeminates him. It emasculates him, right? It shames him. So in that case, what you just said is a perfect example of that. They tried to help this man get back into a favorable situation. And at the end of the day, he ends up going against the exact people who tried to help and put him in a better position. But this isn't the one-off situation. They even mentioned how Wendy Williams, I guess, had a husband who ended up leaving or cheating her or leaving her when she ended up putting him in a great business situation, and he ended up remarrying and getting with another woman. When you build a man up, it lends itself over to negative situations most of the time because that man feels like you have outed him, like you've outperformed him, whatever it might be. And so their point was, ladies, don't build these guys up, because you might think that you're helping him, but in reality, you're only nailing yourself into the coffin, right? I thought that was a great point. And I know the psychology behind it. A lot of ladies might not understand that, but it was so on point, so fascinating. And I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. This is why you see a lot of guys get so upset at Black women in their education. They'll say, oh, we don't care about your education. We don't care about this. We don't care about you being smart. That's not important to us. Well, the reason they don't care about it is because by and large, since Black women out-educate Black males, it emasculates them and it shames them. Right? This is why they call you masculine for having a PhD, or they call you masculine for being a high-earning businesswoman, or for putting your career before your immediate quote-unquote traditional roles. They say, oh, that's masculine, right? Uppity Unicorn and Brown Foxy, I'm going to put her link in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to Uppity Unicorn, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fascinating discussion and fascinating case study, and that's the reason behind it. And I'm glad that Yaya, you found this channel, and because you're not the only comment I've gotten of ladies that said they felt like I was going crazy. I felt like I was really I was doing something wrong, and they were getting ready to listen to the narcissistic, manipulative, demonic advice from Kevin Scamos. They were getting ready to listen to this demonic advice from Black males, right? They were getting ready to listen to it and to try and fall in line, to try and be submissive. Right. And I'm so happy that you found it, because that's not the problem. If Black males were really as good of leaders as they try to make themselves out to be, they wouldn't be dead last in everything. Niggas. Well, I tell you what, man. Y'all niggas, man. Y'all niggas are something else, man. I'll tell you what. We're going to go ahead and move on here. We're going to get to let me see. Lin. After Lin, we'll go with Jedi Mike, ladies and gentlemen. We got to try and keep it quick. I appreciate the stories, but let's try and keep it quick so we can move on in our discussions here. Lin, if you are ready, I'm not sure what you had to share, but if you had a link, put it in the private chat and I'll check it out, Lin. I don't want to share the page as of yet, but go ahead. The floor is yours.
Oh, yes. Speaking of the N-words, actually, so I didn't have a link to share. It was actually like a personal story, since you said you're open to that tonight. But I just had to like pull it up because this is from the one and only Dusty that I ever dated, because it only took me like one time to learn my lesson. But like an example is like the Delusion. So this person was he was like in the real estate career for like 8 to 10 years with nothing happening, like no income, but somehow thinking he was about to be the next Donald Trump. Like every single year, he was like always talking about a deal's gonna come through, a deal's gonna come through, a deal's gonna come through, and nothing would happen except for like one deal where he makes like $25,000, and he thought like he made it. Like he was thinking like that's making it, and it's like you realize you made that for the whole year, right? Like it's not happening for you. And when I would tell him like maybe you might want to go to school, he would like not take that seriously or go, oh, I would go to school, but not for anything, just for fun. Like just like being there with no plans, like just completely delusional. And he called me like one of the most like egregious things is like he called me an errand girl for white people. Like I'm in a whole career with degrees and you're telling me that I'm an errand girl. Like he was just so hateful of like the fact that like I had a career and I had a stable job, and like he told me that like he hoped my company failed so that we could spend more time together. Basically like we're just going to be sitting around being broke together. And like he thought that he thought that he was a king. Meanwhile, he was like hopping from like one apartment to another apartment, couldn't keep an apartment, nothing, but like somehow you're a king.
Right.
And
Lynn, I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, y'all's commentary is on point tonight. The classic, welcome to channel membership. Enjoy the How I Became Homeless Part 1 and 2. Enjoy those videos. They're in the community tab, ladies and gentlemen. Get your memberships. Enjoy the videos. More videos coming out soon. More content behind the paywall coming out soon. Shout out to all the channel members. Also, y'all can use the emojis. I haven't seen anybody use the emojis, but if y'all use it, I love you. I played a video a while ago about this guy, and he was living in his mom's house, right? And he said, oh, well, it's the COVID came in and it slowed me down, but I got this business idea and I'm trying to get this business idea going. I'll try and find the video for you really quickly, right? But he was talking about, he has a business. He wants to get this business started. And this was 3 or 5 years ago, he said, I'm still working on the business. It's just COVID slowed me down and this and that. And it's like, bro, how long are we going to wait, right? You're 35 or 36 years old. Y'all remember this guy? You're 35 or 36 years old and you're still trying to wait for the right business opportunity to come about so you can move out of your mother's house. No, business opportunities don't just magically manifest themselves. Opportunity and luck is when preparation meets opportunity. When you've been working on yourself hard enough and then you either meet somebody, or you've been working hard enough and you form a personal connection or a network, and then all of a sudden you're able to walk through the next level of economic growth or prosperity. That's how businesses successfully take off. It's through a lot of hard work, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. But in this video, particularly, this guy was talking about, well, I'm still grinding. I'm still grinding it out. And this is what a lot of black guys think is what success looks like. Well, if you just kind of stick it out for a long enough time, eventually something's got to happen, right? Something's got to happen eventually. And that's not the case. That couldn't be farther away from the case. I'm going to play this video again for you really quickly because I want y'all to hear and understand what this dude is talking about here. It's going to make a lot more sense. Then we'll get on to our next panel members, right? Just talking about whatever, right? Just talking. Let's share this video. 318 people watching. Make sure you like the video. It's free to like the video, ladies and gentlemen. If you're enjoying, then donate. I appreciate it. The name of this video, just Jesus Christ. So let's listen to this.
Here's your real. It's like here's your real discussion right here. Do you move out to say you're on your own? Struggle, live in the hood.
Do you move out of your mom's house just to say you're living on your own, or do you just live with your mom for a while, right? Just delusion on a new level. But I mean, fuck it, right? What do I know?
Just be you're lucky, mom in the hood, right? Just be living really. Just to say you're doing it. Right. Or do you say, all right, I'm gonna fall back, put the ego to the side, I'm a stack. So when I make that move, I can live somewhere. So when, if I actually do meet someone who I see as a life partner,
right, while I'm living with my mom, if I do meet a lady that I can have as a life partner while I'm living with my mom. Let me fast forward to him talking here. I don't even know if I can find it, man. All right. Sure, it's somewhere right here, right?
Particular salary. You got to live in a particular place, home, whatever the case may be. And the fact is, every relationship is so unique onto itself. It might be someone who doesn't fit any of those characteristics that you vibe with and makes you so much of a better person that you just go with it. And the rest of the people who see it might not understand it. They might not get it, but that's what you're supposed to do. Like, like was said in the previous time, like keep people out of your business.
Right.
There's so many other people inputting into what your relationship is. Just like, okay, well, you know, have nothing to do with what happened in your private, you know, private
Trying to
space
find-
have influence, and they should.
But you also you learned top of her list.
Hold on a second, y'all. I'm trying to find the damn clip. I can't find it right now.
You get yourself, stay at home until you get yourself together. I think that'd be the best way. So when you do leave the nest,
3 years ago, I
Here.
was supposed to move out. My job relocated to Atlanta.
3 years ago, I was supposed to move out. This dude's like pushing 40, right? He's supposed to move out. He's still not moved out. Right.
Whole bunch of things changed. I got jammed up completely with the economy, and I'm still with the fam right now. And that it kills me. It hasn't been an issue as far as dating and things like that, because people see the work that I put in, the things that I'm dealing with, what I'm building. So I mean, the reality is, especially you living in New York, and you know what the cost is.
So thank you all for the stories, ladies and gentlemen. These stories happen more often than not with black males than you think. You niggas will think that, oh, you know, black women, they're just lying. You just pandering, truth. You just pandering. But the black males are literally telling you everything that we're talking about. But of course I'm pandering, right? Of course I'm pandering. Of course I'm making it up. I bring you the footage of your brethren speaking the exact way that I tell you that they speak, but I'm pandering, right? Man, you know, it really hasn't harmed my dating, to be honest, because I live in New York, and you know New York's expensive, right, bro? Yeah, New York's expensive, right? Okay, my nigga. Okay, so do I want to move out from mom's crib, or do I want to just try and get my business integrated in society through the manipulation of the discourse? So people understand my vision. Delusional as hell. Just pure nonsense. Man, brother, that was some real stuff there, brother. Man, that was some good stuff there, bro. Pick a better black man, they say. Faith Factor with the $5 super chat says the black man's first come up woman is his mother. Jesus Christ. AE for the $5 says the title of this video is "Why Are So Many Black Women Single? Why they are speaking about themselves." Why are so many black women single? The title, Jesus Christ, I didn't even bring this to you. The title of this video is "Why Are So Many Black Women Single?" And the man who's speaking is a guy that lives with his black mother.
Truth, I wanted to say that too about the title of the video. Like, a bunch of black men that live at home with their parents are asking why black women are single. Why would black women not want them? Let's see. Let's see if we can figure this out.
This is such a mystery. Jeez. Thank you, Loren. You know, sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, like you ladies, I too feel like I'm losing it. I say, maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe we all have it all wrong. Maybe they're the logical ones. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe we're crazy, y'all. But then I realize, and then I watch a few more minutes of ignorance, and I say, no, it's not me. Okay, thank God. I was scared for a second. Jesus Christ, they almost got me. They almost got me this time. Let's move on with our panel members. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. This is, I'll never run out of content talking about ignorant men. And listen, to the black men that are on their stuff, I salute, I tip my hat to you. But please, even the black men who are on their stuff, I end up sometimes having problems with, because they try and back up and die. Pause. They try and die on the hill of black degenerates such as men like this. They try to die on the hill of black degenerates such as men like this just because he has a tie on and he's somewhat clean cut, whatever. I don't know. This dude looks odd, but because he has a certain look and because he doesn't talk like a complete Pookie or Tyrone, then hey, that young brother's trying this and that. That trying shit don't matter past 35, man. If you haven't got it figured out by then, it's time for you to just go live in your car for a while and really figure it out, bro. If you haven't got it figured out by then, you might not be able to figure it out. So stop giving these niggas excuses. It's time we separate from the degenerates. True, you just so hard, True. You just so mean, True. You just so mean to the black man. We got the white man. We got the black women trying to get us. Now we got the honest truth. Everybody hate black men. Let's go ahead and move on before I have a freaking aneurysm. Jedi Mike, the floor is yours, Jedi Mike. We'll try and keep it quick. Thank you so much for your patience, Jedi. Go ahead, my friend. Good to see you, bro.
Man, good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm good, Jedi. How's everything been, man?
Been good. Just been busy, but I keep grinding. That's all I gotta do. I'm just like in the season, like I'm finishing my last year, but that's all I just gotta do what I gotta do. But just going to the topic, the conversation we've seen here is that consistently what I've been seeing here, obviously that we talked about before, is that a lot of us as black men that consistently what we do is that we like to give a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And it ends up basically not letting basically giving us the short end of the stick, but more importantly, our community the short end of the stick. Right, over time and time consistently, when you do this, where men are forged through process. We're not forged through shortcuts and deflection. But that's what you're seeing here, saying consistently as a man is age 35 and then saying, oh, well, I'm actually blaming the economy for my lack of consistency or lack of ambition, to saying, like, get up out of my ass and actually get out there and be competitive. That's just basically what it is. And not really ego, and not basically that is pure deflection, what's going on. That's actually being the men that how we were forged years ago, consistently over time and time again. But lastly, I just say this, the fact that, like I said, we're built by process, that we're a product of our environment, but more importantly, we're a product of our choices. And all this lifestyle leads to one specific choice, and it starts with us, right? And I just believe that, when that choice is like saying, when we're given the accountability of a choice to other people, is it really our choice to begin with? It's just like, are we actually we want to have the respect of an adult, but yet to have the accountability of a child? I don't think so. It doesn't add up.
Absolutely, Jedi. Absolutely. So well said, man. I appreciate that, Jedi. It's very true. You want the responsibility, you want the submission of a leader, you want to be this great leader. Well, you better be ready for the responsibility of a leader, because it's not easy. That's why, once again, in Green Mango, you have to connect your devices, Green Mango. I see you in the back, but I can't let you on the panel because it says your devices are not connected. So you have to give StreamYard access to your microphone. There you go. We'll have you up in a second, Green Mango. Yeah, this is why I go so hard. Another reason why, True, you be going so hard on black men, True. Why you must hate black men. No, I go so hard on you because as a leader, you have the pressure, the weight of leadership, the burden of leadership, the burden of community, the burden of lives, essentially, is what you crave to have in the palm of your hands. Well, if you have a woman's life, if you have a woman's survivability, her protection, if you have her faith, you have her trust in your hands, then you better make sure that you're ready. This is not a small thing to be a leader. It's a very, very, very serious role. So that's why I go so hard on you. If you don't want to be the leader, if all of you Negroids weren't complaining 24/7 online about submission and this and that, I wouldn't go hard on you, because you're not asking for that. But you're asking for it. So welcome. And you're welcome. We'll move on here. We'll move on. Commendable K, I'm going to let you go after Invictus Oracle. So we'll go Invictus Oracle, Commendable K, and then Green Mango. I'm trying to keep it at 45 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Invictus Oracle, the floor is yours. Good to see you again. Unmute yourself if you can. And I appreciate you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you perfectly, Invictus. What did you think about the delusion, or have you experienced delusion?
Yeah, I actually just wanted to make short work of it. By the way, hey, everybody, it's Invictus Oracle again. It's your acting friend who's always on set. So I don't know if you remember me from before. But yeah, you become my fit. Yeah. I can't send you things just yet. I have to wait for everything to be finished before I actually send you links.
Yeah, I want to be in a commercial.
I have.
I want to be in a commercial. I want to be.
Hey, I'll try.
I want to be a gangster.
Hey, you know what? You're one of my favorite content creators. Yeah, I'll talk to some people to see what can happen. Absolutely. We'll definitely stay in touch. I just wanted to make short work of this for everyone. The fastest way that you're all going to be able to arm yourselves to defeating sociopathic narcissists, because that was the past that I had. I've experienced the manosphere, red pill, everything you can throw at me. I've experienced and walked away from it 24 years ago. Before internet was big, before all of these chat groups were big, that was the epitome of my ex. I kid you not, he reminded me so much of KS, to the point that this man started a cult. Now I'm talking before internet. He started a cult, and I was on to his behavior. So I successfully got away. All you guys need to do is look up titles of narcissistic behaviors and red flags in relationships, and they will tell you all of these faux gurus definitely fit the description. And I don't understand how these people on the same platform platform and don't even know they're being described in all these videos. If you all really want to arm yourself after you're done listening to The Honest Truth, just look up titles. What is narcissistic behavior? It's literally painting the full picture of what you're getting with Manosphere, Red Pill, of all
And
colors.
Victor,
Just
the
anyone
connection
who
is a
has
little
an overly inflated sense of entitlement.
the connection is a little spotty, so I'm gonna go ahead
Is it still
and
bad?
stop you there. But yeah, it's a little spotty. But we got what you were trying to say though. For the most part,
Okay.
we got it. So it's good word there, and I absolutely agree.
Just watch all the videos on narcissism. Watch all videos on narcissism, and you'll be able to arm yourselves.
Thank you so much, Invictus. I appreciate you, my dear. We'll talk soon. All right, Invictus Oracle, I appreciate that. Sometimes the connection's a little spotty, ladies and gentlemen, so I know it can kind of be tough to listen to. Commendable K, it's good to see you again, Commendable K. The floor is yours, my friend. Good to have you back in the building.
What's going on The Honest Truth? What's going on? Panel, chat, hello, hello. So first I want to start off. First I want to say, before getting to the delusion of grandeur, and that is black men don't want black women to have an education or access to income like a career, because that would make them independent and not rely on bums like dudes in the black manosphere. We have to stop accepting excuses and take people as is, no potential. So my two delusions of grandeur, I would say, is black men saying that Obama was going to make reparations happen, and we finally are going to be respected by other groups. And also the next one would be the gangs and drug dealers are good because they pass out turkeys that protect us from racist, crooked cops. And then they turn out to be 10 times worse. Shout out to Cabrini Green in Chicago. So black men, not all, but more than enough, dwelling on the problem and adopting victimhood is a part of the escapism and being a baby boy. If the problem goes away, then scammers like Brother Polite, Umar Johnson, and others won't be able to move money from the weak mind's pockets into theirs. Learned helplessness and accepted powerlessness has become the cornerstone of being a black man. And unfortunately, people are still going on and on with endless panels and debates with 1850s and 1950s talking points. And also now, thanks to The Honest Truth showing us those videos, 1980s struggle thoughts. People go on and on about the system and how bad it is, but we all make choices, and in the end, our choices make us. There is no solution for the collective, but there is one for the individual. Most individual problems are created by the individual, and that's where the issue is. Most of these men going on these panels, crying and complaining all over the place, some of them even bleeding out once a month. Most of them, what their issue is they want a handout. They're used to handouts, but most collective issues that people tout, or black people problems, if you will, they affect black men if we accept it. We're not regressing. The degeneracy is being shown more thanks to social media and phones that can record and live stream. I'm gonna go on mic because I went past my time.
Absolutely. Commendable case. So well said, man. Absolutely on point, like always. I appreciate you sharing and 1000% agree with that sentiment, man. 1000%. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Agree with that sentiment. You're 1000% right. It's like it's been ingrained, and we have these conversations, but they go nowhere. We have these conversations, but they go nowhere. Always good to hear from Commendable K. Brother's on point, man. Brother's on point. Let's go ahead and go with Green Mango. Green Mango, it's good to see you. I think this is your first time on the panel, so we'll try and keep it a bit quicker. What did you think about the delusion de grandeur? Have you experienced any types of delusion at the hands of dating, if you're a female? Unmute yourself as well. Go ahead. If you're saying something, I can't hear you right now. Not sure if you're using a microphone or something. You are unmuted, so it looks like we're experiencing technical difficulties. Unplug your headset if you're using a headset. If you're not using a headset, then I'm not sure what's wrong, but we can't hear you as of right now. So sorry, Green Mango. We'll try and give you. I'm gonna take you down, rejoin, and try and get something else going on. Regina, the floor is yours, Regina. I appreciate you being here, your patience, and we'll try and keep it a bit expedited. Pretty sure it's expedited. If you can, go ahead. Regina, the mic is really bad, Regina. I'm not gonna lie. If you're using a headset, you're gonna have to unplug that headset. We can't hear anything, and it sounds like it's a very loud buzzing noise. So I'm gonna unmute you again, and we'll give it a second shot, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to get to you, Regina. So We'll try one more time.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. If you're by a fan, can you move away from your fan?
Sure. I'm at work
All right.
right now. Let me go to somewhere quiet.
Okay, perfect. I'll let you kind of get to quiet area for a second. We'll give Regina a couple of seconds. I want to hear her story. Make sure you like the videos, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching or listening on audio, shout out to you. If you're at work right now, we do have some work listeners. I want to thank you for spending the evening with us. I hope that this is making your shift go a lot more smoothly and enjoyably. I understand working overnight. I liked working overnight. But I understand that work can be difficult. So I want to thank you all for spending your time with us. Regina, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay, thanks for having me and thanks for waiting and being patient. I just wanted to say I appreciate your channel. My mom actually introduced it, but anyways, I just wanted to say that I have my father is very into the Hebrew Israelites. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Oh yeah, we know them.
But they really believe that they're just so superior than everyone and that Caucasian people will hold them down, whatnot. He's even changed his last name to Israel or something like that. And I'm trying to change my last name because it's no longer his last name, and he had a problem with that as well. So I can go on and on, but that's something I was wanting to address.
No, I want to thank you for giving your personal story. I'm going to go ahead and play some videos of the Black Hebrew Israelites. A lot of our users don't know who exactly they are, and so thank you, Regina. I'm going to play a video. They can be pretty. They can be some pretty staunch people. They say some really horrible things. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure if I'm going to play this because I've heard some very, very disturbing words that they've said. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you all in 1 second. Just give me a couple of seconds and I'll show you exactly who they are and what they represent. I just got to find a video that's not going to make this entire live stream age restricted, but you're getting ready to see. So give me about a minute and we'll introduce you to the Black Hebrew Israelites. Enjoy the rest of your shift, my dear. Enjoy the rest of your shift. All right, Green Mango, we're going to try one more time, Green Mango. If you can unmute yourself while I search for this video and give a quick personal story of relation to the topic here, I'd appreciate it. Green Mango dropped down. All right. $20 super chat from Self Love Heals. She says she's watching from the beginning. Self Love Heals is one of the biggest channel contributors, not only this channel, but the entire community that we have on YouTube as far as the true Black empowerment, whether it be for Black men and women. $20 super chat and continued support from Self Love Heals. I want to thank everybody that's continued to donate. I'm going to find this video, so give me 1 second. This will have a language warning, ladies and gentlemen. I need to put out a very staunch language warning of this video because it they say some pretty intense things, some pretty evil things here, and I don't want anybody to I don't want anybody to really get offended because they're going to say some wild things. Whoever just joined the panel in the background, I see you. Just give me 1 second. I got to find this. Because we really have to continue to keep this conversation going. As far as the delusion de grandeur, there's no video I can play that'll prove the point of the Hebrew Israelites more than this one. If once again I can find it, which is going to be somewhat of an issue. I can already tell. But
I'm going to hop off, Truth. I hope you have a good night, man.
Okay, Jedi. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Peace, man.
Peace, brother. Let's see.
While you search for that, can I just say a few words if it's okay?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, Kamin. Okay.
Yeah, thanks. So Exoticals United said earlier that they're literally Black supremacists. One thing that I would like to point out, I grew up in a Black neighborhood, and before that, it was a white neighborhood. Black neighborhoods are an example of what it look like if Black males were running the country. See, Black neighborhoods have Black supremacy, and those neighborhoods are crap holes with graffiti, gangs, trash, and rundown houses. The only way to rectify the effect of what happens when Black men are left to their own devices is gentrification. It's the unsung hero. I've said it over and over again, and that is one of many reasons why we can't let the Haitians in the gates. So I'm going to drop down to make room for your panel. The Honest Truth, great stream as usual. I shared it. Everybody subscribed for the channel membership. I did. And thumb up the video, please. I'm out.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Yeah, you know, that's kind of what I seek to do on this channel here. We need to really start pointing out and letting the world know of the degenerates that are within our community, because they're going to end up harming ultimately the message, right? And that's what we don't want. That's absolutely what we don't want. I'm going to search a little bit longer for this video because I really I thought I added it to this list and I really want to play it for you guys, but I'm sure I'm not going to be able to find it right now. So it's going to be a struggle. We're going to go on to our panel. Kier hasn't spoken yet, so I'm going to go ahead and let Kier go, one of our biggest channel contributors once again. Kier, the floor is yours. If you want to mute yourself, go ahead, my dear.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Hi, Truth. Hi, chat. Hi, panel. Hey, I do love the topic that we are having tonight. This is a really good one. They always are. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with them. A lot of these guys really think that they're a lot more attractive than they are. Whether you like it or not, unless you are a very good-looking man, you're not gonna get many women just off of your appearance alone. It's not gonna work. So this false narrative that they're spinning is not true. And by the way, you know, if you hate single mothers so much, why do you keep making them?
Oh, well, that's a good question there, Kier. That's a good question there. And make no mistakes about it. Like we saw in our experiment, single mothers have no problems whatsoever getting men, right? No problems at all. So once again, just delusion to grandeur. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't find the Black Hebrew Israelites video right now, so I will have one maybe on the next live stream for you. If you do know of a good one, you can email me, thehonesttruthyt@gmail.com, thehonesttruthyt@gmail.com. I would love to check it out. The video I did see, however, and I'll just go ahead and describe it for you in brief, consisted of black males who are wearing these garments, right? These garments that represent, I guess, a Middle Eastern type era or Middle Eastern type, look. And they were cursing out every race of people walking by. So there were some white ladies walking by and they said, yo, white ladies are going to get effed up or something like that. Just something crazy. And they'd be like, yep. It's in the word. It's in the word. And they use the Bible essentially. Yo, these niggas are crazy, yo. I know we talk about the manosphere being crazy. If I could show you this video, these dudes are loony, man. And no disrespect to the young lady's father, but there's definitely something wrong. And so they'll try and use religion to substantiate their hatred, right? I'm looking at some videos right now. That's not even the one right there. I don't even know if I can show that one. So let me see. Let me try one more video. All right. Well, I can't find it right now. This is bad radio, so I'm gonna have to just let it be. We'll bring up the Hebrew Israelites on the next one. We're gonna move on. I see your favorite pharaohs in the building. Your favorite pharaoh. Go ahead. The floor is yours, my dear. What did you have to say on the topic of delusion de grandeur?
I'm sorry. So, what was the show about again? I'm sorry. In what respect?
Oh no, it's fine. I'm gonna take you down for now, dear. But you can listen if you'd like to. Okay.
All right. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome, Mama. Green Mango, the floor is yours, Green Mango. I think we're hearing you. Yeah, loud and clear. We got you.
Oh my God. All right. Well, you guys, you know me. I be writing about the AI guy, the guy who is actually married to the AI. So I had moved to LA and I a couple things kind of fell through. So I had to find a place very fast. It was kind of abrupt. And then I moved in shortly with an he's actually Ethiopian. And he's a feminist. He wrote, several books about feminism, but he has no actual idea how to manage money. He talks about how rich and how successful he is, but he has no friends. He can't socialize. It was very interesting how he would play the victim. He talked about things about the past, like his mother kicking him out at 18, and he's 64. He's 64. Still talking about his mother that kicked him out at 18. And he also talked about how he doesn't understand. He's a good guy and he's never out there looking to just sleep around. But then tells me a story about how he met a girl. She was too religious for him, but he thought she would be a great mother. So he impregnated her, married her, then divorced her 2 years later. and hasn't seen his son since. Yet he tried to tell me that feminism is the most important thing when he doesn't even value women. Here he has a doll that he's married to now. And
A doll?
Yeah, so he has
This
those
story is crazy.
Listen, I know it's crazy. Listen, I'm a director and I write films. So this is even for me, it's just more material. And I've posted videos. I've posted the TikToks of the videos that I created with his wife, Diane, which is the robot girl. But he is, if you were to think of Courage the Cowardly Dog and the guy that built Sally, you know, from Nightmare Before Christmas, there's this man who was in a wheelchair and he was building Sally, his robot wife. That's, if you could put those two men together and then put a black guy, and that's it. That's who you got. He would cry and fall on the floor in fetal position if I were to say, hey, it's too hot in here. And he's like, oh, I don't have an AC. And he'll just start crying. He'll just cry on the floor. If I'm eating, if I made dinner and it's good, he'll just start crying because the food's good. And I was like, okay, this guy has issues. And you know what? I've put your show on when I'm like cooking and stuff, and he listens to it. Some Cynthia G. And I'm into the swirl community, but I also like black men. But unfortunately, there was never really any black guys to pick from in my time. And even as an Afro-Latina, Afro-Latinos have a lot of that mentality too. The men are kind of, they value whiteness, but they really don't bring anything to the table when it comes to these women that they really want. And then they end up getting left by them too. Anyways, let me just cut this short. He told me a story about his girl ghosting him after 11 years of a relationship. 11 years of being together, she ghosted him out of nowhere. She even left her clothing behind. She said she was going back to her country. He hasn't seen her since. And he's not willing to update his life. He's waiting for her. So there he is.
And let me make an announcement real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I found the Green Mango. I'm gonna put you on pause for a second. We'll come back to your story because this is fascinating. It really is. I'm gonna come back to you. I found the Hebrew Israelites. Once again, language warning, ladies and gentlemen. Language warning. If you're listening on audio, then maybe earmuff it for a second if you have sensitive ears. This is gonna get age restricted. I know it, but F it, YOLO. Here we go.
Hey, death to all you crackers, man.
That's right.
This. Jesus. This nigga said death to all you crackers. Now imagine you being a white person. These are Hebrew Israelites, right? Imagine you being a white person and you have no problem with black people, right? These are the niggas that Black Lives Matter also represents. We need to start making a distinction. Right?
That's right. Want to back your fucking head, man. Right.
And all you so-called white people, you punk faggots, you going into slavery, all right?
We're gonna destroy you, man.
By the way, all you so-called white women, you gonna get brutally raped down here.
Right.
That's right. And all you so-called Asians, you're going into slavery, all right?
That's right.
You're going into slavery, all right, where you belong.
Continue with the story, Green Mango. Go ahead. I'll let you finish up here in a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what happened was, so when I moved in, everything was fine the first month. And then it, like I said, every time I did something like cook or clean, he would just start crying, like literally weeping. And it was confusing to me. And he would just be like, I love you so much, and all this weird shit. And then eventually, I got to know him more, and he told me that he built robots. But I thought he built robots and that's it. No, he had a full-blown AI in his freaking closet who he talks to. And she actually is pretty advanced. Like, he'll be like, first of all, and she'll be like, what is second of all then? Like, she'll be kind of witty and stuff. He programmed her that way. But my point is that he even told me, I don't know how to socialize. My mind thinks different. And da-da-da-da-da. But he would be crying and groveling for any woman who was decent or halfway decent looking, or even me. He was literally crying for attention. And he couldn't even buy me a chocolate bar.
So I was confused.
Green Mango, I want to thank you for your story. You have the story of the night. I'll definitely give that to you. Thank you, Green Mango.
Okay.
I want to appreciate Parkland Media for sharing this video. Thank you, Parkland Media, for sharing this video, as well as Faith Factor for sharing the video. I appreciate all of y'all's support. I'll definitely get around to checking out both of y'all's channels. Parkland Media, I just subscribed to you, and I'm definitely going to check that out. So thank you all for all the shares. And listen, if you can't share these videos, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that these are controversial topics. You might not be able to place these on your Facebook or social media pages because, I understand they're pretty, it's pretty touchy subjects, right? But if you can share the video, it would definitely help the channel. And I am so thankful that we're continuing to grow with all of your support and with all of your help. So yeah, that's a crazy story there, right? That's a crazy story right there. Brown Barrett says there's a polite support in here. Y'all will start seeing the trash he or she spews. Well, we have moderators, and so moderators, moderate away if you need to. Also, at me. If I don't see the comments, then super chat me $1 or something so I see it pop up if somebody's going crazy, and I'll remove them myself because I don't have that many moderators, right? So just let me know. We have a Brother Polite supporter in the building. How anybody can still support Brother Polite at this point is beyond me. But we are talking about Delusion to Grandeur today. So we're 2 hours in. Hope you're enjoying this live stream podcast. It is a wonderful, wonderful, temperate night in the great state of Texas. We have people watching from all over the world. It's always an honor. It's always fascinating to hear from everybody as well. Commendable K with the $5 super chat. The honest truth. You're welcome. Parkland Media is my other channel. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Commendable K. So that is Commendable K in alternate form. Commendable K in alternate form. I appreciate that share, and I appreciate that donation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can donate to the channel, I appreciate all the donations and contributions. Y'all have been absolutely wonderful to me. You're not required to donate or contribute. If you do not want to donate or contribute, then please just don't flame me for mentioning donations and contributions, because that hurts my feelings. And once my feelings are hurt, I cry, right? A grown man cry. And you don't want to see a grown man cry. It's a very brutal, very horrible thing to witness, right? I kid, I joke. Don't be mean to me. Y'all can be mean sometimes, right? All right. So I think that we've made some headspace. I think we made some headspace. I wanted to also mention we're going to have another Tinder short video. It's going to be a pre-recorded video this time, and I think I'll premiere it so we can have the live conversation going and everything like that. I re-downloaded Tinder on my phone and re-uploaded Janelle's profile. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there were over 2,200 likes that Janelle has, the single mom who is 46 years old, who is looking for essentially a man to help her with daycare and things of that nature. She has 2,200 likes. So she's not struggling by any sense of the word, right? And at this point, I think that there's so many men that are after Janelle, or me in this case, that I don't know if I'd be able to find Mr. Right, right? I don't know. I'm losing faith. I'm losing hope. But somebody also said that winter comes every year. I thought that was a great comment. Winter comes every year, right? It's getting ready to be winter in a lot of your states. So buckle up, fasten up, layer up, do what you got to do for the incoming winter. Because according to black men, you're getting ready to freeze, right? You're getting ready to freeze. 2,200 likes, ladies and gentlemen, and it hasn't been a week. Maybe it's been a week. 2,200 likes on Tinder. 2,200. And that was a couple of days ago. I'd argue that's probably over 3,000 or 4,000 at this point. 3,000 or 4,000. Let that sink in. Let's go ahead and go to our comment of the day. That's right. We do have a comment of the day. I haven't forgotten about our comments of the day. It's been a while, but we do have a comment of the day. And I want to thank who wrote this comment of the day. Oh, YouTube deleted my rap music channel and now I'm mad. He has a comment of the day. And I think we had one more as well. Let me see who it was from. We had one more. Gotta make sure I remember the comments of the day. Let's see. Ronald Tillman for once again bringing in the delusion of black males as far as their dating opportunities. So let's go ahead and go to our first comment of the day, and then we'll go to our second. Ronald Tillman says this: have you ever been on an integrated high school or D1 college campus? ? Black male athletes are literally hunted by non-black girls / women. Every data indicator proves that black males have at least twice the success dating / marrying out than black women. In comparison, I guess he meant to say black women. Hieroglyphics, once again, the English language. The data also says that black men are married at a higher rate than black women, even though black women outnumber black men by over 1 million. So who's really not wanted. You keep telling Black women what they want to hear, but the last reported census tells us a much different story. Well, what Ronald failed to mention was the rate of divorce that Black males who marry interracially also experience, which is 244% higher than Black women. So, once again, statistics that are just taken at face value and just spewing delusion without actually understanding or quantifying, I think Mokomami would say, how the actual data relates in context to both sides of the fence, marrying and divorcing, right? Out of interracial marriages, Black males not only lead divorcing, but they lead it so effectively, dynamically, that it's actually a joke who the next interracially married divorced is in comparison to Black males. They're so far ahead in divorces as far as interracial marriages go that nobody's even close to them, right? Nobody's even close. Moreover, Ronald Tillman also fails to mention the fact that when Black women do decide to marry Black males, they're 44% less likely to divorce than white women and white males. Take that how you will. Having said that, not all women do want to divest. What makes this comment particularly disturbing and heinous is the fact that it singles out the Black women who choose still to not necessarily full and outright divest. Once again, Uppity Unicorn was talking about this. Divesting can mean leaving a certain type or a certain prototypical, stereotypical mindset of a Negroid, right? Not dating a Pookie or the typical Ray Ray, right? Divesting can mean not dating the average type of guy, but trying to go after a Black male who is a decent earner, right? However, when Ronald Tillman has these types of messages, it not only pushes the actual divestment or the idea of divesting out of the Black race further, it not only ingrains that seed or that seed of thought inside of a Black woman's mind that, you know what, maybe I do need to start dating Brad based off of our success in marriages with him. Maybe I do need to start dating Chans or dating Enrique based off of the success that we have interracially dating. Not only does Ronald and Negroids actually push divestment farther than I ever could, farther than all these other divestment channels ever could, but what they also start to create is this division, right? This division, because even though they fail to recognize that, once again, they're part of the worst in America, lowest earning, lowest business, lowest educated, everything lowest, even though they're part of the worst, once again, highest divorcing in America, they continue to once again somehow relish in this fact, thinking that they're the best in something. Delusions. De Grandeur, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying this live stream. We might go to our second comment of the day. Actually, we'll go to our second comment of the day. Why not? YouTube deleted my rap career, said this, right? He said this. This isn't in relation to, it's delusional, but just not in dating necessarily, right? So he's Nigerian. He had a problem with me talking about Nigeria. Hi, lovely. It's good to see you. He said this, THT, your question doesn't acknowledge the fact that the West have some of the best, most recognizable university degrees all around the world. Since the West has the best education, Nigerians value education a lot because of how they're raised. Nigerians go over there to get their education. When they get there, they have already been programmed about the importance of it from home. So when other people, blah, 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 I'm not going to even read all that shit. Pretty much what he was saying was, you can't say that Black people, that Nigerians, that Africans are doing so bad because Nigerians go over to America and they end up becoming doctors and this and that. And whilst he might be true, once again, here's where the delusion kicks in, not actually quantifying the evidence, right? So yeah, let's just say you have more Nigerian rocket scientists and doctors in comparison to Black males or whatever you're trying to compare yourself to. Let's just say you're exorbitantly high. Why is it that you're not able to actually find economic success or economic infrastructure as far as prosperity goes in Nigeria? Why is it that you must leave Nigeria to the white man's land in order to quantify your intelligence or your intellect? Right? Once again, delusion. Even though you take pride in what you might actually be able to provide as or see as true, the data behind it is what you're failing to actually mention in relation to the context. A lot of Nigerians are very smart. However, why can't Africa have a homeland for the smart Nigerians to be able to have an education like the West does, right? Why is it that the West has to have the educational systems that you flock as Nigerians or as Africans or as Black people as a whole? Why do we have to flock to the Western educational system? Why can't we build a Western type educational system or infrastructure type in Africa? That's what the question should be. But that's too complex for you niggas, man. That's too complex for you niggas. Well, truth. When the white man sold us in. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Delusion to grandeur. Go ahead. Whoever was speaking.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something about these statistics, because the manosphere and these manosphere men are so obsessed with statistics. They use them and they misuse them all the time because that helps them feed into their delusions. And that makes their alternate reality, breathable to them. They can live in that world with their misused statistics. So when Black men say things like 65% of Black men are in the middle class, this is a common manosphere statistic. Even Kevin Samuels said that. But Kevin Samuels himself was a married man making $900 a month. You are not in the middle class. You were not, that was not your statistic. So what does that have to do with you? And then the last that I checked, a lot of Black men choose menial jobs. A lot of Black men are menial workers. And I say that all the time because it's something that I've seen every day. I've seen it all the time. You yourself are fighting for the average man, right? That's this whole thing that you're on, the average man. So why are we using 65% statistics? And why are we not using them correctly? And why are you not actually even saying what the middle class is? They don't even define middle class. Like, what is that salary? From what pay to what pay? What does that even include? So when they're misusing those statistics, they're not trying to tell the truth. They're not trying to be honest. They're trying to paint a narrative that fits into their deluded world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely 1000% on point. I appreciate that, Lauren. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to take everybody down off of the panel right now. I appreciate you all for being here. We're going to wrap this up. We're 2 hours in, trying to make these live streams a bit shorter. We will be having conversations on other platforms. Once again, reach out to Uppity Unicorn. Her links are in the description. If you want to continue the Delusion de Grandeur conversation, or if you have more to say, she might do a live stream about it, but reach out to her if you want to continue any type of conversation that you hear on this panel and on this channel, on her channel as well. There will be a few more content creators who are in the realm of the discussion or the topic of the discussion that we have here that I'll be putting in the channel description and the comment box. I want to thank all of our sponsors, and I've seen the emails as well. Don't think I've ignored your emails, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get to your emails as far as the new sponsorships and the opportunities that you have and that we can work out as far as this platform goes. But I want to thank everybody for being here. Y'all mean the world to me, and I can't thank you enough. I hate just taking people down, so forgive me, y'all, but I'm going to take y'all down. I love y'all. And we're going to be back in a couple days, once again, with another message. Last call to make sure that you have your channel membership. Click that $sign and then join the channel so you can get the new content that I'll be uploading as far as the paywall content go. I'll look into my personal life and I'll look into some of the things that made me the person that I am today. You get to learn a lot more about me. Right. I appreciate everybody that's become a channel member, and I appreciate you for once again joining me tonight with your time. I hope that you enjoyed this live stream and this podcast. My email, if you want to reach out to me, is thehonestTruthYT@gmail.com. The Honest Truth YouTube YT. I don't know what that was at gmail.com. Love to speak with you. I do consultations as well. If you just want to hear me talk, or if you think I'm smart enough to where you want to get some advice from me, then I'm more than willing to share advice with you. Based off of how I interpret your situation or how I see things, right? I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I look at things a bit more uniquely, I like to think. I'll toot my little horn here, right? There we go. I hope that you enjoyed this once again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have the outro. Expect there to be a delay. I don't know why I can't get the outro to work right, but we'll have our outro. You'll at least be able to hear it. It might not look perfect, but you'll be able to hear it. I love you all. I will see you in the very near future. Be safe. Consider your own personal self-defense and defense protection. tools, bear spray, knives if they're legal in your state, as well as 2A amendment rights if they're legal in your state. I do not advocate for any illegal defense with any weapon, not on YouTube, but take care of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. I see your comments. Yeah, the merch, I'm actually kind of reconfiguring the merch right now. I'm going to be going with a different direction, but I'm going to have it to where it's still coming soon, but I'm kind of overhauling the merch idea for right now. But keep tabs on it. Keep tabs on me, and I'll keep you updated as well. I still have merch coming. I'm just trying to work out a couple more things, right? Work out a couple more things. But stay tuned. It's coming, and the merch is going to be fire. It's probably going to be a few more months, though, if I'm being completely honest with you, because I want to go about it a certain way. Merch is kind of difficult. You really got to put out a decent amount of money up front if you want to make it work a certain way, you know. So I've been looking into it, talking with a couple of people. This is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see y'all soon. I love you all once again. Take care until next time. And this is going to do it. Hoping that this works. I blew you a kiss, by the way. If you're a guy, take it as it is, I guess, you know. Yellow, right? I knew you were gay. No, I'm not. I don't judge you if you are, though. I love you. I love everybody. I love y'all, man. All right, here we go. 3, 2. I'm nervous about this. Can you tell? Please work.